Is it possible that the past and future are colliding?
Let the new era begin.
Rated M for mature.
It's E3, our biggest show of the year. We've got over 20 games, world premiere trailers, Gears 5, and a major announcement about backward-compatible games. It's breathtaking. Inside Xbox starts right now.
All right, hello and welcome to Inside Xbox. We're coming to you live from inside the Microsoft Theater here in Los Angeles, California for our biggest show of the year.
That's right, it's E3!
Best time of the year.
The entire video game industry is converged on downtown LA to reveal what's in store for the next year and beyond.
Yeah, it's amazing. And yesterday on this stage, right back here, we had 60 games, a new console, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and so much more.
On today's show, we've got world premiere trailers and the biggest games of E3. Gears 5, Watch Dogs Legion, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and there's so much more.
Plus, one of the most popular PC games of all time is being rebuilt for Xbox. We'll talk with the developers of Crossfire X.
Looking forward to that. All right, then we're going to talk Psychonauts 2,
Yeah.
the newest member of Xbox Game Studios, Tim Schafer. What have you
I
done?
love Tim, don't we?
Shapes.
He was so funny on stage, yes, it was great. And later, we're going to dive into the future of backward compatibility and reveal our biggest batch of titles yet. You don't want to miss it.
Yesterday's Xbox briefing was full of surprises and some incredible trailers. So what was everyone's favourite moment?
Keanu.
That was the internet's favorite moment, I think.
You're
right?
breathtaking.
Everybody's
We're all
breathtaking.
breathtaking. Brilliant.
Well, I'm going to have to say, I'm going to go with the breathtaking Scarlet announcement we had,
That's
which is
pretty cool,
our brand new console.
Yep.
I'll have details on
There we
that
go,
in the future. And the Elite controller, Series 2.
Loves the hardware.
So good.
So
Besides
gorgeous.
Keanu and having the fans lose their mind.
What else was
so
beautiful, Tina?
Well, Flight Sim.
That's
I mean,
right.
bringing back that franchise
true.
was so great to see. You say nothing, just fly through the sky. Beautiful, beautiful. So super excited we're bringing that back.
So relaxing.
Yeah.
I
I think I'm just going to have to go on the opposite end of the spectrum and say Blair Witch.
Yeah.
Because
Of
okay, when
course.
it first started playing, I thought, oh, it's Alan Wake 'cause there was like a torch. Anytime I see a torch, I'm like, Alan
That's a
Wake.
flashlight
Right.
for those of you here.
It's a torch.
It's
Anyway,
a-
all right, let's not get
Light
into
front
this.
It's a light.
Yeah, it's a light. And then I saw like the cabin and then the footage and I was like, it's got to be Blair Witch.
Yeah.
And then the bit with it's the bit in the corner at the end of the film.
Oh, mate.
I
Scary.
love the fact
Yeah.
that it's so long after the movie, so
Yeah.
they've had like 20 years
Long time to
make
get
it
it right.
good.
20 years of nightmares
Yeah.
about that guy in the corner of the cabin for me. For me, I love two things. I mean, there's a few more than
Forza.
that. But two things I really
Football.
love. Rod Ferguson
Yeah.
and Pyro. So when Rod came out to introduce
Yeah.
Escape for Gears 5 and all the Pyro went off and a hive
fun,
under the stage
so
was
fun.
revealed, that was incredible for me. And we also got to see our first glimpse of the Escape game mode for Gears 5. as well,
Gears
which
looks
was
so
absolutely
good.
Yeah.
Insane.
So
that
good.
was grand. So let's get things started, shall we?
Yes.
Speaking of Gears, as I was, let's send over to Jeff, who's with the Coalition's Rod Ferguson.
Rod.
Thanks, everyone. We are here in the depths of the Hive. You got a little something
Oh,
there, Rob.
geez. Okay, sorry.
This is an environment that is part of the brand new game mode that you announced yesterday called Escape. Can you give us the rundown on what this mode's like?
Sure. Yeah. Escape is really about you infiltrate the hive, and you plant a poison bomb, and then you try to escape with your life.
And this is quite a bit different than the other modes that we've seen throughout the history of Gears.
Yeah, it's a 3-player co-op mode. It's aggressive, and that really changes things. Usually Gears, you think taking cover, holding back, waiting for the enemy to come to you, and this is really about pushing through. You got that venom bomb, you got that poison chasing you out. You have to get to daylight. The only way through is through the monsters, so it's basically pushing forward.
And you've got to make some tough decisions because you cannot just hunker down there. You've got to be aggressive. And that's something that I think different characters and different characters we've seen can play into that in different ways. Can you tell us about who we'll be playing with in Escape?
Oh, sure. So there's 3 members of your squad. We have the Hive Busters, which we call them. There's Mac, Lonnie, and Keegan. And each of them, what's different about this is not just about what weapons you have. Each character has an innate ability, an innate and ultimate ability. So Keegan, he's our support character. He's able to put down a resupply and give ammo to his teammates. Mac is our tank. He'd be able to put up a barrier and eat a bunch of damage. And then Lonnie is our scout. She's the one out in the front. She's got an electro blade, and she can go and just press the attack. And so it's about how you coordinate together as a team and how you make those ultimate abilities overlap to make your way through the hive.
And these folks have fully fleshed out stories as well in the comics, correct?
Yeah, we wanted Escape to have its own sort of, we wanted to do world building around it and create the characters out. Like if you saw a screenshot with Kate and JD and Dell, you go like, oh, it's just, they take the campaign, goes into the hive. And so this, we really want to be like, oh, this stands on its own. And once we created this identity with these Hive Busters, we really wanted to go deep on it. So we met up with Curtis Wiebe, who did the Rat Queens, and also our Brahm Rises comic book. And so now we have a comic book story going into the backstories.
So let's talk about replayability. You're not just going to escape once and you're done with it. You all are making a creative mode that's going to give tremendous replayability. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the hives are all built on tiles. And so one of the things when we started building these hives and clicking them together, we realized, we're doing it. The fans can do it. The players can do it. So we actually have a map builder that'll ship with the game, and they can make their own challenges for their friends and put it out there. They have to build it. They have to beat it first. You can't just build the hardest thing possible.
Slide the sliders all the way to the right. Yeah.
So you build your own hive, and then once you've played it and prove it can be beaten, and then you can put it out there for your friends or just for yourself.
So this summer, it's all about Gears 5. Now, we're seeing Escape here at E3. That's just one of the pillars of a pretty expansive offering on Gears 5. Tell us about the rest of the summer and what we're going to see.
Oh, yeah, there's lots. And what's great, too, for the first time ever, we brought E3 to the Microsoft stores. So there's a bunch of select Microsoft stores where they can play Escape right now. So it's super exciting about that. But yeah, all summer long, we want to talk about Escape now. But in July, we're talking about Versus, and we're doing our tech test where you get to go and play for the first time our multiplayer and play our new mode called Arcade. And then in July at Gamescom, we're going deep into Horde and talk about character abilities and how they affect Horde. And then in September, we're going right back to the campaign, and we're going to revisit Kate and her story.
And Gears Pop as well. We saw a little bit about that.
Yeah, kidding around with Rom, our little trailer. Yeah, so when we said pre-order soon, we meant really soon. You can pre-order now. So I've already done it. You should do it too.
It very much is the summer of Gears. So Gears 5 set to launch September 10th. It'll be be everywhere. Retail stores, Xbox Game Pass for console, Xbox Game Pass for PC, Steam, and if you're in as a Game Pass Ultimate member, you get it early.
Right.
So there's, in addition to that, a special bonus that caught a lot of people off guard yesterday. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's super exciting. So if you pre-order the game or you play the first week in Game Pass, then you'll get our Terminator character pack, Terminator Dark Fate character pack. So you'll get the T-800 and you get Sarah Connor, which is super exciting because like Sarah Connor is so iconic, and she really represented the story that Kate goes through from the civilian to warrior, and this is what Kate's doing in the game. And so we felt it was a perfect match.
When we saw that metal foot come down on the skull, I was like, no. All right, one last thing before you go. You announced a partnership with E-League for Gears 5 multiplayer recently. What's on the horizon?
Oh, yeah, so that premieres this Friday. And so basically, we're following 6 different players and their journey into competitive gaming with Gears of War. And then that's going to culminate into a tournament where we get to see those 6 players and their teams compete. And so, yeah, there's going to be 6 weeks of episodes. And that's what I love about our esports content. It's more than just like watching gameplay footage. It's really about who these players are, who the community is, who the fans are, and you really get to go deep on who, and really cheer for them.
And that's why people watch esports, is for those personalities.
Well, it's like the Olympics. When you want, you don't, name for me like a triathlete. You can't. But when you have those biographies before the event, you really care, right? And that's what this is. You get to understand who the players are, and then you get to watch them compete, and that it means more.
All right, and that's this Friday as it begins. In just a minute, Phil Spencer is coming by to talk about Project Scarlet, xCloud, Game Pass Ultimate, all of the big announcements. But first, check out this trailer for Gears 5 competitive multiplayer action. As we said, coming to E-League this Friday.
Since day one of me playing, I was never seen as the best player in the game.
I used to get bullied in school because I didn't know the language and I couldn't understand people.
My father will give me 20 pesos. I knew that with that 20 pesos, I will not have a lunch, just use that money for playing video games. Like, that's how much I like it.
I hope that when I'm done competing, I leave behind a legacy that I was a player that never gave up.
I 100% feel pressure to stay on top. Being at the top, you kind of have this feeling that everyone wants to take you down.
Before the pro circuit, I was basically a typical kid. Go to school, come home, play until my mom gets home, eat dinner, take a shower, and go to sleep.
I don't want to work a normal job. I don't want to work for someone. That's my goal in life, to make it somewhere in this gaming industry and hoping that Gears of War 5 blows up and I blow up with it.
A lot of people don't know what it takes to be a professional gamer.
The objective is to pretty much build a brotherhood.
I think it's a brotherhood, but it's a really fragile brotherhood.
You're never really guaranteed a spot.
I know I was getting dropped.
People would talk behind other people's backs.
I do not regret it. I just wish some things could have been different.
But I know deep down they know that I'm right.
You could wake up tomorrow and all of this is gone.
I get to see Gears 5. Really excited for it.
Let's go and play it, all right?
Let's go.
I got one. Oh my
God. Shot. Did you see that?
We've been stuck in the old for a little bit now, and I think everybody's excited for the next chapter.
When you get bruised up, you get beat up, you get knocked down. When you go through roster changes, when you go through drama, when you go through failures, you got to stay focused and positive and keep going forward, because that's the only way to make it out.
Yesterday's Xbox briefing. Stop trying to put me off, Phil. Had 14 titles from Xbox Game Studios, over 60 games total, a surprise Keanu appearance, a new console, the return of Master Chief, and so much more as well. And here to walk us through that staggering list, it's head of Xbox, Phil Spencer. How you feeling, Phil?
Staggering Phil Spencer. Staggering Phil Spencer. Keanu was on our stage. How cool was that?
I was just, how did it feel to be upstaged by Keanu?
I was all good with that. No problem there. He was such a sport. I thought it was great talking to him before, and I told him that gamers, Xbox fans, it's going to be more passion than maybe you find coming out for like a movie or something else. And talking to him afterwards, he was blown away, which is awesome.
He's a total dude. Now, someone else who's a total dude who was on stage is Tim Schafer. Talk to us about Tim and Double Fine Productions and what that means to add them to Xbox Game Studios.
Yeah, we've worked with Tim since back in the original Xbox days on the first Psychonauts. He did some great Xbox games through the years. As we're looking for great teams with a track record of creating really creative, differentiated talent, we approached Tim about options for him and his studios. He's moving forward. Been talking to him for months. And it was great to be able to announce where we are with Double Fine, and they'll be joining Xbox Game Studios. I thought Tim was fantastic on stage.
So funny.
He is hilarious. If people haven't watched the videos that they put up, but no, I'm really excited to just see with the kind of the financial stability that we can offer, the creative freedom that we can offer, what that studio is going to do. They obviously have Psychonauts 2, and they're going to go finish that. But I think the future for them and us is going to be great.
Good. I trust you're connecting Tim with the Excel team as well. Can't wait to see what they've got there. Now, yesterday was a really big day for Xbox Game Pass as well. So we launched Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Xbox Game Pass for PC entered the game as well. Yeah. What's it been like to watch that idea grow from just that, an idea, to something that is so powerful now?
Yeah, 2 years ago. 2 years ago here, over at the Galen, but 2 years ago is where we announced that. We broke a record yesterday in terms of number of people signing up for Game Pass, which was just awesome to see. Obviously bring it to PC for the first time with over 100 games on PC. Having Sarah come out and talk about Ultimate, you get Xbox Live Gold, you get Game Pass for console, Xbox Game Pass for PC, seeing a tremendous uptake in people signing up to that, but also 34 games on our stage that are premiering into Xbox Game Pass. Teams are really seeing the power of being in an at-scale subscription for their game launching and reaching as many players as possible. We're seeing some really great... I'm playing a lot of Outer Wilds right now. Really fun game.
Yep.
But an awesome way to discover your next favorite game when you're a part of the subscription and so many games are coming in every month. It's really great.
Awesome. I'm delighted that Football Manager is in Game Pass for PC as well. That's going to kick my addiction off again. Now, you also and the team...
We don't call it addiction.
No, okay. My love. My love. When you and the team also introduced the world to Project Scarlet yesterday as well, you talked about your commitment to compatibility. Can you tell us more about what that means?
We stood on stage at E3 a few years ago and talked about Xbox 360 games coming to Xbox One. Then a couple years later, we talked about original Xbox games coming to Xbox One. So really, when I look at my Xbox One today, it's probably the most compatible console I've ever had. So we thought about our design for Project Scarlet. We definitely wanted to make sure that we were compatible across all the generations, not just with the games, but the accessories. Obviously, Xbox Live will continue, and you are who you are across the whole ecosystem, which creates, for us, it's really us respecting the purchases that our gamers have made on our platform. Some of these games people bought a decade ago in our digital ecosystem. You're going to turn on Project Scarlet and the entitlement's going to be there. You can go download the game and play. And as gaming goes from really all physical to both a combination of physical and digital, I think us respecting the purchases that people have made at no charge, allowing them to be able to continue to play their games. And in many cases, those games play the best and look the best on the new generation, which frankly isn't easy to do, is just something that I wanted to continue in Project Scarlet, and it's great to see us able to do that.
Okay, you also talked about Project xCloud and console streaming. Can you tell us a bit more about the difference between those two things?
Yeah, when I think about where we're going, we're going to see games that were created for Xbox are being created for Xbox today, playable in many places. We're really focusing first on what it means to play these games on your phone. So when we thought about how can we get as many people playing on a phone as possible, Project xCloud is us putting Xboxes in our data centers and allowing people to access those. But we scratch our head and say, wait a minute, we have tens of millions of people who already have an Xbox One at home. What if they could turn their local Xbox into their own version of xCloud so they can stream out of their home? So we have two things coming this October. We've got our data centers with the blades in there, with the Xboxes in our data centers, so you can access Xboxes that we have and able to play games from there. Or if you already have an Xbox One or you're buying one this holiday, you're going to be able to turn that into a server that you can access on your phone from wherever you go. That no charge for that, and both of those things are launching this October.
Fantastic.
Or previewing. I am going to be clear on this because we're here at our first public preview of xCloud now, and we're seeing people playing Xbox games on
Just
their
right
phone
over there,
over there,
Yep.
and getting tremendous reaction. But one of the things I've learned this generation is we should always be listening to what our customers want. I'm not one that's going to tell them what they want or tell them what they should be doing. This is really about us putting options and choice in the hands of our customers and listening to the reaction that they have. So we're spending a lot of time over there watching and listening to the thousands of gamers here that are going to get their hands on. And when we launch our preview in October, it'll be the same way. Like, I'm not claiming that everything that we figured out every answer to every question, but I do know that me able to stay to connected with my Xbox Live community and my games wherever I go is going to unlock more opportunity.
All right. Now, E3, we know it's a huge moment for video games, but we did another event last year, which personally I absolutely loved, EXO 18 down in Mexico City, an incredible experience.
That's awesome.
And I know it's a big deal to you, these EXO events, right? Do you have, perhaps, any news for us about what we can expect from EXO in the future?
Yeah, I get sometimes accused I'm a little corny on some of the nostalgia around Xbox. And when us and the team were thinking about last year and bringing back EXO, some of us remember we used to have EXO. And this EXO 18, as you said, in Mexico City, was so special with the fans. Absolutely doing EXO 19. We're doing it this November. We're going to hold it in London, which will be incredible.
Hey!
We have EXO 19 in London. I think it'll be great. We know we have just a huge, passionate fan base in the UK. I used to live in London, so I have friends there. So it'll be fun going back. We have 3 studios in the UK too, so it's really interesting now to think about our local creators that are there. So I'm really looking forward to EXO 19 this November in London. I think we're going to have a great time.
That is amazing news, and I'm from the UK myself, so I know that the UK Xbox community are going to be absolutely over the moon about this, and can't wait to hear more about it and be out there for
Gamescom. I think we're going to give some more details and make sure that everybody knows how to get signed up, knows how to get there. So,
all right. So just to wrap up, Phil, personal highlight for you yesterday?
This is a little bit just for me. Yesterday, my 2 daughters were here at E3 for the first time. They used to, they're watching on TV. I was able to get them here and come and see the show, see Dad on stage. To them, I'm just Dad. But, and I think about the connection to the fans and the community that so many of us have. Some of my really good friends are here, and I see them at FanFest every year. And being able to have my 2 daughters here, and that whole connection was great. Obviously, love the games, love everything that we're going to go do. But I think for me, E3 is as much about the business and the strategy and all of that as it is just as a community of creators and gamers coming together here in one place and really celebrating our love of this art form. And it was special to me to be able to have my family here with me, which is awesome.
That's a great story. Hey, congratulations on a great briefing. Thanks for stopping by and being with us, Phil. Really appreciate it. Okay, in just a few minutes, we've got Ninja Theory coming to the stage with our brand new title, Bleeding Edge. But first, we've got to do something that is very E3. We're going to drop a world premiere exclusive trailer. So get ready for more Souls-like action, a new city to explore, and a ton of new gear to cut off your enemies and slap on your body. Woo. This is The Surge 2.
If you haven't had the chance to play the first Surge, you're in luck. It's available right now to download on Xbox Game Pass, along with other titles we just announced. Batman Arkham Knight, Metro Exodus, Hollow Knight, and Borderlands The Handsome Collection with the brand new DLC. So good! You can sign up for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate today and get access to over 100 games for your Xbox One. All the benefits of Xbox Live Gold, as well as the just announced Xbox Game Pass for PC. Right now, PC is in open beta, and once the full launch drops in August, you'll have over 100 games there too. It's kind of a ridiculous deal, you know, console, PC, Gold, all together for just $14.99 a month, and the first month is only $1. So for a closer look at Xbox Game Pass for PC in action, I think I'm going to send it over to Larry. Larry?
Thank you, Julie. I'm here with Jason Beaumont, and we've got the new Xbox app running right here. I don't know what this is. Is this a laptop or a desktop? I know it's a laptop. It's some monster Alienware, but we've got it running right here. And Xbox Game Pass on PC was no simple task. Tell me about how this came together.
Yeah, so we started by just talking to gamers. And one of the things that we heard from gamers is that they play on console and they play on PC.
Yep.
And they were looking for something like Xbox Game Pass to come to PC as well. Mm-hmm. Once we heard that, we started building the product. And we worked with over 75 partners to bring their games into the subscription. These include people like Bethesda, Paradox, Deep Silver, Sega, Devolver Digital. And we built a lot of platform features for them, like Win32 support in the store, mods, anti-cheat, to make sure their great games looked great in our systems.
All right, so you've got the framework all set up, and the way you're going to discover and download all of these new games is through this new Xbox app, right?
That's correct. This is the new Xbox app, available yesterday. Launched yesterday into beta.
Maybe even earlier.
Maybe even earlier. That's right. And it's available in for the May 2019 version of
Now,
Windows.
this is the live version, so walk me through, so anything could happen, but walk me through some of the tabs and show everyone how the app works.
Great. So we're on the Game Pass tab right now.
Yeah, we're signed in with my account.
That's right. And at the very top, you see kind of some of the games that we're highlighting, things like Imperator Rome, Metro, Hollow Knight, etc. And as you scroll down, you see different pivots on the Game Pass catalog.
Right.
One of the things that's cool about Game Pass is it really helps you discover some genres and new types of games that you may have never tried.
I mean, we heard Phil say it and Sarah say it, you can discover your next great game, right?
That's right. That's
yesterday.
absolutely right. And in fact, one thing I also like about it is if you have Game Pass and I have Game Pass, we have access to the same library of games from the subscription. So one game I love is Football Manager.
Right.
I get it every year. I love it. And I always try to get my brother to play it with me.
Okay.
Now that he has Game Pass and I have Game Pass, he has no excuses. He can play it with me.
Right.
So that's the Game Pass tab. It's really great for discovering the next game for me to play.
Yep.
The next tab is social.
Right. Now, social is great because I can see you've got my chats. And then we flip over to the friends list.
That's right. So
these are my real friends.
Those are your real friends.
And I think you're on here somewhere.
I am on there, actually. I see you playing all the time.
Yeah.
And in fact, you could even see some things like whether they're playing on console or whether they're playing on PC. This tab also works hand in hand with the Xbox Game Bar.
Okay.
The Game Bar can just be a WinG, is an overlay that can come over any Windows game.
Yep.
It has things like audio settings, performance, one-click broadcasting to Mixer, looking for groups so you can find some people to play with, etc.
And it's really important to point out that I know some folks may have seen Game Bar before, but your team has done a lot of work over the past few months to completely revamp it. It's customizable. Check it out.
That's right. Absolutely. The final tab in the app is the Store tab.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, right? Now, one thing you may notice here is that this has a lot more games than maybe you had seen before in the Microsoft Store on Windows.
Sure.
We wanted to make this tab really about the types of games that we think people who use our app would want to see. And so you see things like Forza games in here, a lot of the games that are in PC Game Pass are on here. If you're a member, you can get up to 20% off the games that are in the Game Pass catalog, the Xbox Game Pass catalog, and up to 10% off DLC.
I want to talk real quick. We've got a bunch to talk about here, but I want to, why we've got the Windows Store, I now have this other game store, but they're really looking at the same catalog, it's just a different pivot, and you've customized this for gamers.
That's exactly right. We wanted to create a view that was perfect for them. It's all about kind of tailoring the user experience for what those people want to see.
Now, what's going on over here on the left side?
So those are all the games that we have installed. And so we could take a look at some of them, things like Imperator Rome, The Surge, And like I mentioned,
there's your football
there's
manager.
my football manager. And so you could play, or you could choose
You can
to
actually
buy.
expand them out a little bit, so you can just in case you don't know what the icons are.
That's
right?
exactly right. You could expand at the bottom down here.
There you
and
go.
Take a look at it as well.
See them all. Now, where and when can people get their hands on this new app?
So if you go to xboxgamepass.com, it'll have information about how to download the app. It'll even have a handy installer if you're on an older version of Windows and you need to upgrade. That'll kind of shepherd you through the process and get you started with Game Pass, either via PC Game Pass or Ultimate.
We'd love to have you, and it's awesome stuff. Jason, thank you for this walkthrough.
Thank you so much, Larry.
Xbox Game Pass is supported by some great developers, and we spoke to a few about what it means to them.
The job of Devolver really is to get those games that we work on out to the widest possible audience. We're a small company, so we're always looking for help.
When Microsoft first approached us to see whether we would want to be part of the program, we jumped at the chance.
The greatest benefit to the gamers with the Xbox Game Pass for PC is the ability to discover and try games.
If you want to play an FPS, they've got FPS games. You want to play Valkyria Chronicles, that's going to be in there.
Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Prey. It's a great way to bring our games to an audience that maybe hasn't had a chance to experience them.
We can't just be on one platform and expect everybody to go there, right? That's dumb. So I think this is part of that evolution.
I see it as the beginning of the democratization of gaming.
I'm really excited to see Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, coming to Game Pass for PC. It provides an awesome experience combining story and character and over-the-top action, award-winning title that maybe not everybody's had a chance to play. Game Pass for PC is an awesome way to check it out.
One of the games that's coming to Game Pass first will be The Messenger. It is awesome. If you've ever come across a game called Shinobi or you've heard of Shinobi, then you're in the right place. If you've got any interest in side-scrolling action, platform, beat-em-up games, this is for you.
For those of you who don't know what Football Manager is, it's a football management game that puts you in control of every decision that a football manager would make in real life. It's one of the most played single-player games on the planet.
We're bringing Imperator Rome to Xbox Game Pass for PC. It's a classical paradox grand strategy game played on a huge map covering the Roman time period, where you can play any country from Rome down to the smallest little tribe in northern Germany. Your goal is to create an empire.
I was told many, many years ago that the PC was a platform that was dying as a gaming choice. And I'm here to say that it's thriving and growing. And long may that continue.
You know and love Ninja Theory for their intense story-driven adventures like Enslaved, DMC, and Hellblade. So their new game is something quite different. And here to tell us more is creative director Rani Tucker. How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
This is a lot less intense than being out there.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
I don't think even I would want to do that. So obviously Ninja Theory is known for kind of its single-player stories and stuff like that. So how did Bleeding Edge kind of come about? Because it feels like a bit of a left turn.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ninja Theory's always had some combat DNA, you know, like Kung Fu Chaos, Heavenly Sword. That's the game I saw that made me want to work there in the first place. And obviously with DMC. And it just felt like, to me, after DMC, to me when I made Hellblade, which is very story, character, experience focused, and that totally suits him, he's awesome at that. But for me personally, I'm way more interested in the combat, gameplay, the touch and feel, so that's the direction that I wanted to go in. And at home, I like to play kind of multiplayer competitive games, so it was just kind of the thing I like to make, the thing I like to play.
And then they let you do it. Brilliant. Fantastic. I mean, so we talk a little bit about the setup. Is it kind of like a class-based structure? Like what's kind of going on? Let's kind of pick this apart a bit.
Yeah, it is kind of class-based. So there's like heavies, assassins, and support characters. And there's also a mix of ranged and melee classes as well. But some of them are kind of a little bit crossover. So El Bastardo, for example, is a heavy, but he can also do quite a lot of damage. And Kulev is a support, but he can also lean a little bit into damage. So you can kind of lean a little bit with.
It's not so exact.
Yeah, I mean every fighter is so unique anyway. But yeah, we kind of split them into like architectural classes just so people can kind of get an idea what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, no one wants to read a whole bunch of text at the start. Like, what does this guy do? Okay. So how does the kind of mod system work? So how am I going to make my particular character, like Buttercup or something, different to everyone else's?
Yeah, so there's mods in the game. Each character comes equipped with 3 mods. and then as you play, you earn more mods, and then you can replace what's there by default with different stuff that you unlock. So the idea is that you don't get more powerful, you just get more options, like the more experience you get with the game. So for example, a character like Demon, his default kit comes with a little bit of extra health, I think extra damage on his katana and extra range on his shuriken, and that's kind of like a good all-round set. But say you wanted to go more into stealth and be all about stealth ninja, then you could take...
Who doesn't love being a stealth
Exactly,
ninja?
right. So you could take like stealth never runs out, you could take extra speed while in stealth, and say extra damage coming out of stealth, and you could kind of gear him more towards that. So there's plenty there to choose from. You can kind of mix and match them, and you can think about how that synergizes with what the rest of your team is doing.
So that's my next question I was going to ask, was kind of like about the kind of synergies and sort of combos and stuff. Like, is there anything that we should be sort of particularly looking out for? Like, what works really well together? Come on, I mean, we want to get ahead of the game here, you know what I mean?
I mean, there's definitely some moves that combo quite well together, you know, like the Buttercup pulling a guy in, and then Maeve drops her cage on top and you've sort of locked a guy down, or you get Nidhogger and slide into the middle of a big team fight and drop a big Ride the Lightning super, and it stuns everybody and it kind of leaves your team free to just jump in and destroy everyone.
I mean, it's mad. It's complete. There you go.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Gizmo riding in on the rocket, exploding it. I think there was like every move in that one little shot there.
That's amazing. I mean, what can we expect from the upcoming technical test? What's going to be going on with that?
Well, we're going to start letting people in on the 27th of June. And then we're going to start with weekly tests and we're going to be just honing the game, seeing what people think, getting their feedback. And we're going to be adding more content, you know, checking all the technical stuff, make sure it's robust, their matchmaking's working right, and we'll expand it over time.
It all sounds really good. It looks bonkers in the best possible way.
Well, thank you.
So thanks, Ronnie, so much for coming on and talking to us. And I personally can't wait to get my hands on it. So in just a minute, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will be on our stage. But first, the creator of the brutally difficult keyboard-smashing original XCOM is back with an all-new tactical strategy game, Phoenix Point. It launches on September the 3rd and will be coming to Xbox Game Pass for console and PC. Here's a world premiere trailer.